library of the URJ. When you post things, you do have the option to make them uh, private to only our group, but the default is that they will be able to be seen by everybody in the movement. Um,
Hey, Larry,
yes, please,
we have a question.
please.
So this is coming from Steve Kaufman. He says, when you shut down the existing listserv, will all of that information be lost, or can we still access that information through the tent?
That is a wonderful question, and I'm afraid all of that information is going to be lost. The archives of the NativeNet listserv, which is, I want to say, about 15 years old now. It is really an unwieldy beast. It is a lot of information in there, and there is no automated manner available to us that we can get that information here. It would really require hundreds and hundreds of hours for somebody to go through that stuff. The URJ doesn't have that kind of staff available to us, and I know that NADA does not have that as well. So we're really going to start from scratch here. So we're going to lose all that stuff, but we're going to start fresh with fresh information, new information, and build a brand new archives here. But more than happy to talk about that more, Steve, offline if you like. Um, so you are our first group in the tent, and as such, we're really going to rely on you for your feedback along the way. Please know that things will change. The look of the site will change. Some of the operations of the site may change, and we hope that is all going to happen in the next month or so. But if you have ideas, if you have questions, if you think this site should do things that you just can't uh, figure out how it's done, there is this submit feedback link here that's on almost every page that you're going to see on this site. And if you click there, you have a form where you can suggest or ask what it is that you want to ask, and then we will get back to you. We keep an eye on this all day, so please do feel free to use that. So the very first thing that we ask you to do when you log into the tent is to set up your user profile. And as soon as you log in for the first time, you're going to see your name along that top of the page to the right. So when you click on that, click on the About Me link, and you're going to see your user profile pop up. Really important. We really want everybody to share a photo of themselves. It should be um, a professional type of photograph of yourself, please, rather than maybe a shot of you with your pets or your kids. We really want to see your face fill that frame. We want to know who you are. When we get together at the NADA conference this fall, we want to see who we've been talking to and working with in the tent. Um, Please share a short biography of yourself. We want to know what your skills and expertise are. The more you share here, the more that people throughout the tent are going to not only know who you are, but know about the work that you do and know how perhaps you can help them as well. Your email address is going to appear up here. And then here you have an opportunity to share more information about yourself if you wish. You don't need to put this stuff in. That's going to be up to you. But we do include a link here for more information about the congregation that you work for. So that's all there, and this is really the key, or it's a key to successful use of the tent. This is the first step along the way. You see there's a blog link here. You can create a blog if you like. Important to note, the blog is only going to be available to people inside the tent, so do that if you wish, or don't. That's up to you. Um, and then there and then you can see the things that I'm involved with in the tent, the work that I've done in the tent, who I'm following in the tent, and we're going to get more into that along the way. But if you have any questions about what you should include in your user profile or not, just feel free to ask Amy or myself, and we'll be more than happy to help. So once you have logged in, you're going to want to join the NADA group. And we're going to get more into search along the way too, but there's always going to be a search box at the top of the page. And in order to join the group the first time, and you only have to join once, you just need to type in the name, hit return, and then you're going to see with the logo right here, here's the group. It's going to come up in your search because you have the rights. When we set up your account in the first place, we gave you the rights to see this group because it is a closed group. And then I'm already a part of the group, but you're going to see a blue join this community um, button right here. Click that and you're in, and that's all that you need to do. Then when you come back, um, there's this sites link at the top of the page. And for any sites that you become a part of, it's going to appear on this list. So you don't need to do a search each time you come into the Knowledge Network, into the tent. It's going to be here. So these are all the sites that I'm a part of here. And you can see that we have the NADA site right there. So one of the main things that this is going to do for us, as our listserv did, is enable us to have discussions or conversations online with everyone. And as you can see, when you go to the homepage, that's the first thing that you see. And these are appearing here, at least in chronological order of I believe when the last response was, the last input, whenever that was, that's going to tell us the order in which it appears. You can also click on the What's Hot tab, and that's going to show you what's been having the most activity recently here. And then you can also click on this tab where you can keep an eye on whatever conversations you have begun along the way. So again, you don't need to search around a lot for what it is you've begun, for what's of particular interest to you. It's right here, and you can always go back and check. So that's one way to look at what is go going on there. But if you click on the categories link here, you can see the conversations that are going on right now and have gone on through these tiles here. And if I just hover over these things, I can see how many um, discussions and replies there have been. And and so I may, depending on what I'm trying to do here, I may very well just want to know what is being talked about in the tent, and I may just choose to chime in on a few of these things, or I may really have been thinking about, um, I may have been thinking about dues and or fund. Let's say I'm thinking about fundraising a lot and I'm looking for new ideas. I want to think about things, and I can see what's been talked about here. So I may find exactly what I hope to find. I may also begin to think about new things along the way here because these are all being categorized according to what the conversations are about. So two really useful ways to find that, to find what you're trying to find. So that's what's already there. But say I want to start to talk about something new. Well, it's real easy to start. I can, on this page, I just click here the new discussion button there, and you'll see that same button is in each category here as well. So if I go back here, I just click new, and I want to add a subject. Let's say that I want to talk about Hanukkah. How do you spell this word? Okay, and then I also want to make sure that I assign a category as well. So I'm going to put this in programming. And I could, I guess, put it in prayer and worship if I want, but this feels right. And then, yes, I am asking a question and I want to get answers from others. So I hit save, and you see not only is it here, but if I go here and I go, was it in programming? I think it was. It's going to be here too. So, and then I hope that folks will respond in time. Um, and another, so this is how we can talk back and forth. But as those of us who have used the NativeNet listserv for years know, sharing resources could be really tough. Sometimes when you had an attachment to share, it would go through, and sometimes it would not go through. Those problems are solved in the tent. So say I want to share an attachment with this. In fact, I'm going to delete this, which is what you can do if you've begun this. I'm going to delete this and I'm going to start it again because I want to show you how to add a resource. So I'm going to type in Hanukkah programming, thinking about Hanukkah already. This is what we have done in the past. See attached. What are you planning this year? Okay. And I can go. You can see we have all of these word processing type of things that came up along the top of the page when I began to type. If I click on the Insert tab, I want to upload file. So then it just gives you a very sample way to navigate to what you want to find, which you all have seen this before. And I know that I put a resource on my desktop. So I'm going to select what I want. I'm going to hit choose. And this is a real important thing that when you upload this as part of the conversation that you're having right now, it's going to immediately become part of the resource library in the tent. I'm going to show you what that resource library looks like. But it's one thing to share a resource. It's another thing to be able to find that once it's online. So here in the site assets library, I want to I want to be able to organize what's being shared. So this is a flyer about Hanukkah. So I'm going to put it under program examples. And when I hit OK, it's going to take me to a new page. It's going to first say that, yes, the document was uploaded successfully. And then here's the name. I can change the name here if I want. I won't. And then I can change this, or I guess I can't because I already chose that. Now I can add a new name to this if I wish, and I'm just going to call it Family Hanukkah Program. Example of what we have done for Shabbat, for Hanukkah Shabbat. Yes, I know I spelled it two ways, at Temple High. And then you'll see, of course, the ones with the star we need to fill in. So what type of program was this? Worship. Topics. This is a pre-populated list that we've made. So when you start to type, you're going to see a list of words pop up, and you can only use the words that have been that are already on this list. So I'm going to put Shabbat. I'm going to put Hanukkah. I'm going to put family, but I can't. That's not there. So I'm just going to leave it with those two things. Year. You don't need to put this in, but I will. Congregation. I think this is a real cool thing to have and to be able to see where this was first used. You may like me, you may no longer work at the congregation where this was made for. So please be sure to pick this. Needless to say, this is going to be a long, long list. But as soon as you start to type, it's going to go to where you want to go. So there we go. And then you can put in your name here if you want, but they already we can already see who it was uploaded by. If you want to put in your phone number, you can. And then if it's applicable to the resource that you want to share, you can select what size congregation you are and what type of urban setting you might be in as well. Not key to this, but I went ahead and I put that information in. So I'm going to hit save. This may feel like a lot to go through whenever you have something to share. It's real important information to have, and you're going to be glad that you put that time in. When it's time to find that again. So now, not only did I begin a conversation here, but I've shared a resource as well. And I click on that, and there it is. So that's how it looks in the discussion window. But let's take a look at the resource library as well. Here are all of the categories of resources that we saw before. So if I click on program examples here, I'm going to see here's what I just put up, and you're going to see it gives you an idea of what this resource is if you're looking through the resource library. But if I click on the ellipsis, and you're going to find this ellipsis is a very powerful tool in the Microsoft SharePoint world. Whenever you see that ellipsis, those three dots, that means there's more. So if I click on here first, I am going to, oh yeah, with PDFs, you don't always see a preview. But sometimes you do. So depending on the type of file that is, you might see a preview of the file itself. And then you can see, you can share it, you can open it up from here, and lots more. And then you can get more information about the congregation as well. And you'll see that depending on the resource library you're in, we've only been online for like a week now, and you can see how much we have in here now, and we really hope that that will just grow. And I want to go back to this one resource library here. So if I click on here is a Word file. There's the Word icon there, and here I can get a sense of what this resource looks like, and then I can decide from there if I want to look at it more. And if so, I just click it. And it opens up. It should. Sarah, why isn't it opening up if I click it? Oh, here. I can either download it or make a PDF of it there.
Yeah, if you want to open it, I would just click the name. The ellipsis is
Yeah,
for other functions.
yeah. So there you go.
So actually, while I'm interrupting, we have a few
Please.
questions.
Yes, please go right
Okay.
ahead.
The first question is from Jean Adler, and she says, "Can you tag more than one category?" I think this is in regards to discussions.
Hi, Jeannie. I believe the answer, Sarah, to that is no. Is that right?
Yes, that is right. So
Yeah.
you have to pick where it fits the best.
Yeah, and don't necessarily look at that as a limiting thing too, because that's only one way to find things, and we're going to get into search more. But yes, you can only tag it with one category.
So I don't know if you want to get into hashtags, Larry. You can put a bunch of hashtags in something, but
Yeah,
I'll
so
leave that
so
to you.
I'm not going to get into that now. But if you type, because it doesn't work very well here, if I were to type, if I were to respond with a hashtag and say Hanukkah, this doesn't work well on my screen. But once you type a hashtag, a bunch of terms will come up, and you can select from the terms that we have there, and then this will appear in your newsfeed. And we'll get into this more at some point, but it's a good way for you to track the things that you're interested in. So I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay,
Okay,
was there more?
so yes, there are a couple more questions.
Please,
So
please.
Steve Kaufman asks, how do we get to the tent? Where do we register? And how do we set up a username and password?
Okay, do you want to respond to that, sir?
Um, yes, I can do that.
Yeah.
So actually, everyone who is a NATA member should already have received an email from Microsoft with a username, a pass, and a password, and also should have received an email from Larry's account that gives the link and also the email and the password. So if you didn't get that, Steve, or anyone else on the call, reach out to Larry or to Amy, and we'll try to figure out why that is, whether it's because it went into your spam or because you weren't on the original list. But if you don't have a log on right now, you should.
And you can go into the submit feedback. Oh no, you can't go into submit feedback because you're not online yet. So yeah, just send an email to lglickman@urj.org, and we will take good care of you.
Yes. And then, so we have one last question from Elaine Tenenbaum. She asks, what if I wanted to save a shared document to my own files? Can I do that?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
What if I want to save a shared document to my own files? Can I do
Yes.
that?
Yes. So let's keep in mind these are all to share and these are all to use. So if there is something that I find that I like, I'm going to open it up. And from there, this is a PDF file. So I can just save it from here. I can save it as a PDF here. And there's also I think there's a way to just download it straight from here,
Yeah.
uh, right here. So again, go until you see that ellipse, and you can always download these things, be it a PDF file, a Word file, a PowerPoint file. You can share all of this stuff here. Okay. Did I miss anything on that, Sarah?
No, we're good.
Okay, great, great. So, um, let me just see where I'm in my notes. Okay, so um, if you if there if you saw a conversation here that is of particular importance to you, if you've come along a site, there's going to be lots of open sites here. We're going to launch the Small Talk website next, which is the website for small congregations in the URJ, and you're going to be free to join that group if you like. If there are specific people in our group that you want to make sure that you have a lot of respect for, and you want to see what they say, you want to see what they talk about, there's ways to track all of that stuff. So say that I want, here's a conversation that was begun today about art auctions. I'm doing an art auction this year as well. I want to see what this is talked about. I just click the follow button. Oh no, that doesn't work. That just helps me follow the site. But if I go into the conversation, if I go into the conversation, I can, and I start to type, again, this ribbon appears up here, and I want to get an alert. I go to page, and I want to alert me. I want to get an email when things here change. And so I'm going to be able to keep up to speed with this. Um, Joyce shared some good information here. I like what Joyce said. I like Joyce. I want to follow her. So I am going to get an alert each time that she participates in the tent. And you can do this with our resource library as well. Say you've shared a resource and you want to know whenever this resource is used, you can just click the follow button there. And so I'm going to get an alert whenever that's used. Um, so that's a way to keep up to date on things. Um, Now, we're all here. We're all participating in conversations each day. Lots of resources are being added to the resource library as well. I don't want to have to scroll through all this stuff here. This is after only 1 week's time. And you can see we already have a full 2 pages of conversations that are going on right now, and that resource library is going to grow a lot as well. So how do we find things? We go back to the search tool that we saw when we first began. um, and this has got a very powerful search. And so say I'm doing work on dues and I want to see what we've talked about in regards to dues, and I want to see what kinds of resources have been shared about dues. So I just type in the word dues, I hit return, and here is everything that the tent found that I have the rights to see that has anything to do with dues. And you can see already I got 624, more than that, 687 search results here. And as I scroll over these things, I get a sense of what's there through that hover panel that comes up, which is really cool. And I'm finding everything here. As it says, the blue word here says everything. But say I just want to see what we've talked about in regards to dues. If I click on the conversations link, then I'm only going to see the conversations that we've had about dues. If I want to see who has talked about dues, this is everybody who's talked about dues or who has an expertise in dues. If I want to learn about dues, I can reach out to these 3 folks and I can learn from them. If I go back to everything, say I only want to see PDF files having to do with dues. I click on PDF, everything else goes away, and I just see PDF files. I can go back to all. If I know that Robin Riegelhout, who actually works for the URJ, if I know that she happens to be one of the leading experts about dues, I can click on her name and everything else is stripped away and I only see what she has posted in the tent. If I only want to see new stuff, I can use this date slider here, and I want to see only things that were shared in the last week. We don't have stuff that new, so I can go back, and here's stuff that was put up within the last month. And so we can refine our search so we can reduce our search results down to a much more meaningful amount of information, a much more digestible um, amount of information as well. And you can see these search refiners go on and on. But it really enables you to find exactly what you're trying to find. Say you want to learn how to do something in this tent and you just don't know how to do that. There are 2 ways that that can be done. And so if you forget, if you need to relearn, which we all have so much information that comes at us all the time, don't feel bad, because all of the information is here. If I want to know how to start a discussion, I'm just gonna say start discussion, hit return, and here is this information about how to work in the tent, um, and how to insert documents. And if I just reduce that down by one more word, um, discussion guide, working with your news feed. So not only is that stuff here, but along the top of the page, you're always going to see these links. I can go to the training and FAQ page, and we're going to see all of this stuff here, and I can click and get more information on any of these subjects here. But these are just even the top three. If I go along the left here, we have a resource library here of how do I add things? How do I join a community? How do I search? All that stuff is there, and I just need to click, and I can learn about what I need to learn about. So that training and FAQ page is there all the time. The URJ resource library here is here as well. This is going to grow with URJ curated content in the weeks and months to come. And then this is the homepage for the whole tent, for all of the reform groups that are going to be in the tent. And again, I'm seeing NADA stuff here because I have the rights to see that stuff now. And so I can either go to the home page here of the whole tent, or I can click on sites and I can go to the NADA site this way. One more thing I want to share with you is a lot of what we do here is about making sure we all communicate as a team and we stay in touch with each other as well. And if I want to make sure I involve some of you along the way, I can start to type, and I am working on dues. And if I type the @ sign, I'm going to type Drew's name, Drew Barkley. I know you are working on a new dues structure. I'm making all of this up. I don't know if Drew is or not. What do you have to share? And as soon as I post this, Drew's going to get an alert that he was mentioned in a post of mine. And it's going to engage him in this conversation that we're having online in a way that he otherwise may not have been engaged. So please keep that in mind. That's the use of the @ sign. We talked about the use of the hashtag sign before as well. So those are the main things. There is a lot here. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of features that this site has. And we're going to be hosting, beginning next month, we're going to be hosting an ongoing series of webinars that you can participate in or not. And we're going to talk about new things each week, and we're going to answer questions each week as well. So please keep your eye out for that. Please go online. Please start to talk. Please start to share things. This is going to succeed because you are going to take part in all of this, and you're going to have things to share. And I'm ready to close this out soon, Sarah, unless there are any other questions to answer.
No, we do not have any other questions at this point.
Okay, great, great. So we are always here. And like I said, we're going to close out the NativeNet listserv in a couple weeks. So before we do that, please do jump online, set up a good user profile, and start to talk, start to share. I think you're gonna like this a lot. And Sarah, I'd like to thank you for your help, and I'd like to thank you
Anytime.
all for your work on the site. And please be in touch along the way with however we can help, and however we can help to support your work here. And we're going to end this now, and I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Thank you very much.